asked me for the kind of plans I hear many of you have to get into green steel, better energy sources, move into modern technologies which are less consuming less carbon than before. I'm very confident you have great business potential and great future. Friends, today we pay tribute to Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, somebody who led from the front, who was always a person looked up to for guiding and mentoring the country in its early days. We celebrate it as Teachers' Day, and I do believe all of us respect our teachers. In fact, Naveenji is going to his law college right now. I'm sure he'll get a great opportunity to interact with the people who make all of us what we are and who teach us to be good human beings and contribute to society. I came amidst your midst last year also, where I think we discussed at that point of time a very good overall situation that the steel industry was going through. You are in a way superheroes in your own business. I think the movie Iron Man comes to mind when we talk about the steel industry. Clearly, even superheroes have to go through a little trying time sometimes. I was told by Sahaji that there are certain issues that you would like to flag off with me. I don't mind if some of you would like to also talk and give me a kind of view of what's happening in the industry, anything that we in the Commerce Ministry can do to help the industry. But I can tell you one thing, that the way the industry has evolved over the years, despite the trying times, there's always a brighter future ahead of us. The aspirations of the nation are big. The government of the day is committed to investing heavily in infrastructure, in manufacturing, in the India growth story. And therefore, I think if we focus our energies consistently on economies of scale in our business, growth, decarbonization, getting into the mold of making clean steel, which will become more and more the demand of the world as we go forward, I'm sure we'll overcome these challenges and have a bright future ahead of us. I must at this point also appreciate the good work that the ISA has done on branding Indian steel as a made in India product, something that we are very proud to be. And I believe almost 80% products today, we have the made in India stamp on it. It's a signal of our growing Atmanirbharta, but also a reminder to all of us and to our friends in Indian industry that consuming Indian made steel, steel melted and poured in India, is also in some sense reflective of our nationalist spirit. We have instances where in Korea and Japan, they consume steel made by their own steel plants, give preference to them, even at times at a higher cost. Whereas sadly, many friends in our industry don't have a similar approach. I'm keen to know from you what we can do so that we can maybe retaliate, maybe even take some action in such instances, curb any irrational imports. The DGTR informed me that they have initiated an inquiry into surge of steel imports from Vietnam, I believe. And I can assure you that we are with you, whatever it takes to get the steel industry rocking again, helping India grow, adding new jobs to the India growth story, and in the long run, becoming the provider of steel, not only to India, India's infrastructure demands, India's auto sector, India's industry, but becoming a provider of steel to the world. As the Prime Minister says, infrastructure is a means to improve the convenience and ease of living of for our citizens. But clearly, it cannot be possible to achieve that kind of deep dive, deep investments in infrastructure without your support at attractive prices. New India can only become a solid India and steel industry solidified in our casting units and our steel plants becomes the source of steel, becomes the source of strength to our infrastructure, to the tall skyscrapers that India is making, to the tall skyscraper of growth and prosperity that India is working together. Your strong spirit, your indomitable spirit, your entrepreneurial journey in many cases to growth journey in others is a story to the resilience of Indian industry. My compliments to all of you. We assure you as government, we are online, always available for you whenever you want. Any improvements that you can suggest to make your life, your business simpler, towards ease of doing business, what we can do for single window clearance for all the work that you are doing, how we can safeguard your interests from any unfair practices from other countries, how we can have a win-win situation in FTAs for our steel industry. I'm sure Alok Sai and other leaders of your industry will tell you, unlike in the past, we have not signed a single FTA without 100% concurrence from the steel industry. I have not inked any FTA without putting in stringent rules of the game so that you are not discriminated against. And I assure you, together we will forge a very bright future for our industry. Your industry will forge a very bright future for sustainable and prosperous India, Viksit Bharat by 2047. I can make three small suggestions in conclusion. Let's push our boundaries. Let's find newer and better ways for the future towards low emission, towards high performance, high productivity, high quality, so that we become an absolutely irresistible case. You provide the world an offer that they can't refuse. That should be our effort collectively. Let's try and utilize artificial intelligence to optimize our production, reduce waste, improve efficiency across the value chain, work towards the circular economy in a bigger way, and let's go for a target. Let's look at least 500 million tons capacity by 2047. Let's encourage indigenous manufacturers of machinery, just like we want our user base to use our steel. I think we should also correspondingly more and more use Indian made equipment. It's a huge opportunity for you. Let's also provide an opportunity for other Indian providers of goods and services. This is India's decade. Let's lift off together with innovation, inclusion, and collaboration, cooperation amongst different sectors of Indian industry to realize the vision of Viksit Bharat. Thank you very much, friends, for giving me this opportunity to interact with you. Naveen ji, Sahai ji, happy to take a few questions if you want. And if any concerns you want to flag off, I'm happy to absorb those concerns also. Thank you very much.
So, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for for coming and for speaking to all of us. And you have such a good understanding of the entire steel industry. So, whatever things that we would have liked to say, you already have covered all those points very well because you have such a good understanding of the entire steel industry. So, sir, you know that today India is the second largest producer of steel in the world, and we have targets of achieving 300 million tons by 2030. And now you have given us new targets of achieving 500 million tons by 2047, when India is going to be a developed country, like our Prime Minister wants.
No,
So,
no,
with
I didn't say 47. वो year मत डालो. Get
you
the
said by
schedule
2000.
30, 32, 33, like 10 years from now, 34, like.
Okay, so definitely all the steel makers, they are very enthusiastic about adding capacity. And that is what actually leads to problems also internationally. So, sir, the only issue that we have, and all these points and suggestions that you have given us going forward to become very efficient, to reduce our carbon emissions. So, the entire steel industry is very aware of that, and we are working in that direction. So, sir, only thing is right now we need support and we need protection from imports happening into India at predatory prices, because some of these countries, especially you, like you mentioned, countries that have we have signed FTAs with, and those countries they have set up capacities. Chinese companies have set up capacities in these countries, which is far beyond the consumption in those countries. It is like more than double of the consumption in those countries, and those are meant only for exporting into India, and they are exporting into India at huge losses. So, sir, even if they export 1% of Chinese production into India, that is like 10% for us. And that is damaging the Indian steel industry, which is so important for the country. And sir, when we are producing in India, so these companies are providing millions of jobs. We are paying taxes, income taxes. We are cross subsidizing electricity, cross subsidizing railway freight. On top of that, we are paying highest royalty on minerals. On top of that, we are paying 100%, more than 100% premium on iron ore, very high premium on coal. And then on top of that, we pay electricity duty, which none of these countries pay. So we have written to, we'll be writing to you also. And we have written to the Honorable Finance Minister. And yesterday, the Honorable Steel Minister had come to the conference. And he also was reassuring that they will take these industries' points of view in their mind and provide us, due protection. And you coming and assuring us of that today, it means a lot to us, and we are very grateful to you and for your support. And we will explain all these things, certain things which we only want to explain to you. I don't want to take up in this large forum. We will come and seek your time and write to you also to seek your support. Thank you.
Naveen, once I get free from Ganesh Chaturthi, I'd urge 4 5 leaders of the industry, maybe Sajan, the SAIL chairman, Chandrasekharan, you, 4 5 of us will sit down.
Sure.
I think there's another very important subject that I have made a lot of effort in the past that sadly could not succeed. Let's make one more effort, and I think you also, all of you all also support us on the border adjustment tax. These taxes that you just listed out,
So
electricity duty, iron ore duties, when you are exporting steel, it should we are loaded with these taxes. We have not been able to pass on rotten to you because of shortage of funds. That is one issue.
right.
And the second is imported steel which comes into India doesn't have to pay all these taxes, as you just mentioned.
Correct.
Border adjustment tax is a WTO compliant mechanism, which if all the industries, CII, FICCI, ASSOCHAM, everybody take up, I think we may be in a position to get traction and get border adjustment tax also into the country. Imports, even from FTA countries, at least will be loaded with the similar electricity duty, coal cess. If you're still paying coal cess,
Yes, we are still paying the 400 rupee per ton.
so coal cess, electricity duty, any additional state levies or taxes that you're not getting remitted, which are not being charged in other countries, can be adjusted through a border adjustment tax. So let's 4 5 of us sit down, then talk to CII FICCI and take this dialogue forward.
That would be very helpful. And sir, if you just allow, maybe Chairman Sale or someone from Tata Steel wants to say something that I may have missed out.
Sir, thank you so much. I'm Rendu Prakash, Chairman Sale here. Very good morning, and it was such an honor for us to listen to you today morning. Naveenji has already laid out the aspirations and the challenges for the steel industry. We are committed to making a Viksit Bharat, sir, and we will continue this journey in all forums. Always, you have been very supportive of the steel industry, and we hope to come and meet you, as you mentioned, 4 or 5 of us, discuss all issues, and we'll sort it out. Thank you so much, sir.
Morning, sir. Chanakya from Tata Steel. Actually, all the points which are absolutely urgent have been covered by you and Mr. Jindal. So I can only say that if you are already seized with the issue, I'm sure the solution is very close by and it's going to come in because we are getting hit on the trade side. And you rightly mentioned that these taxes which we are getting, we have to pay, they don't get any benefit to us when we export or the imports come in without these taxes being charged. So if some mechanism can be put in, it will be really helpful. We will give a full pager in terms of how this is actually impacting our profitability. And sir, you are all aware that all the steel companies are actually on an expansion mode, but we need to make enough money to invest back into the system. So I think your support will be really required. Thank you once again. I know how busy you are these days. And Ganesh Chaturthi, हमारी तरफ से भी आप सबको शुभकामनाएं सर in advance. Thank you so much.
Sir,
आप सब
more issue
आप
which
सब
you
भी
have
मेरी
already
तरफ से
asked is
मेरी तरफ से 100% एश्योरेंस है सरकार पहले भी आपकी इंडस्ट्री के साथ खड़ी हुई है जब जब समस्या आई है एंड आई कैन अश्योर यू फुल सपोर्ट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट एंड we'll ensure your industry prospers going forward.
Sir, one issue which has you have supported in past and you have approved also is removal of lesser duty rule, because you touched upon border adjustment tax and you took very little time and you gave instruction that it should be approved within 3 days, and it has been cleared, sir. Sir, we need your support because we need level playing field, so nobody should subsidize or they should dump steel, and they should be penalized to the extent they do that, instead of looking at our injury over a year, sir. So thank you, sir.
Frankly, on the lesser duty rule also, I've been struggling now for nearly 7-8 years. Ever since I think I was power minister, I've been struggling for this lesser duty rule. आप अगर इंडस्ट्री से सपोर्ट करो और एक कंसेंसस बन जाए, and also because उसकी वजह से एंटी डंपिंग ड्यूटी पूरी नहीं लगा पाते. अमेरिका puts 200% and we'll end up putting 5 and 10% anti dumping duty.
Thank you.
Can I take your leave?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a resounding round of applause for the Honorable Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, Shri Piyush Goyal ji. Thank you, sir. Under your leadership, the Indian economy truly has seen unprecedented growth driven by innovative policies and groundbreaking reforms. And we thank you for your tireless efforts, sir, which have bolstered not only national progress, but also garnered international acclaim, positioning India as a formidable player on the global stage. We thank you today for taking out time from such a busy schedule that you have, sir, and thank you for gracing us with your virtual presence. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause once again for the Honorable Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Shri Piyush Goyal ji. Thank you, sir.
Grateful. Thank you very much.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, from here we are going to go into the panel discussion on demand of low-emission carbon steel and user perspective, and we will reset the dates very quickly. So I request you to please not go away anywhere. But I do have to thank Shri Naveen Jindal, President, Indian Steel Association and Chairman, Jindal Steel and Power, Shri Amarendu Prakash, Chairman, Steel Authority of India Limited, Shri Chanakya Chaudhary, Vice President, Corporate Services, Tata Steel, and Shri Alok Sahai, Secretary General and Executive Head